out Jarvis from their nominated squad of players. And they're playing the two spinners, John Embury and Nick Cook. Nick Cook has 49 wickets this summer, has thoroughly earned his place, and that is a strong England team, despite the fact that Alan Lamb and Graham Dilley have had to pull out through injury. The Australian side is unchanged from the Edgbaston Test. The umpires Barry Mayer and John Hampshire, the latter standing in his first Test match. Just to confirm, England won the toss and batted. The pitch looked very good. The outfield fast. I would anticipate this to be an excellent toss to win. We join play now with the first ball of the third over. Alderman is bowling to Graham Gooch. The score is 2 for no wicket, and each batsman has a single.
It's a good shot from Gooch. Half volley. 4 runs. There's Gooch latching on to a leg stump one. It won't be 4 unless they run them, but a nicely timed shot.
You know, that's been Terry Alderman's problem this morning. He hasn't quite got on the right line. He keeps trying to attack that middle stump, and he just got a little bit too much leg side there, but bowling from this end with the wind as it is, I think he's going to find it more difficult to bowl straight, and he's certainly not half the bowler if he has to bowl it outside off stump going away.
Nice shot there from Curtis, well controlled. I think it's saying a little bit for the pace of the pitch whereabouts he was able to pull that.
Lawson now to continue.
There's a nicely timed stroke. Absolute minimum of effort. Maximum result. It was by no means a half volley.
John Hampshire in action for the first time. And that ball just moving a fraction and just missing the leg stump. But certainly worth a shout.
I think that one was probably going a fraction further down the leg side than the first one. Well bowled. That's a lovely ball from Geoff Lawson. Beautifully concealed. A super piece of bowling. Lawson won't bowl a better ball than that, I reckon, in the whole of this series.
First success for Australia, Geoff Lawson. Bowling Graham Gooch, looked in pretty good form, but Lawson bowling Gooch between bat and pad.
Just thought for an instant he might have got some sort of a touch on it, just to flick the top of the pad, but it was so wonderfully well concealed. It had him playing not only outside it, but a little too soon as well. Just the top of the pad. Beautifully done. Tim Robinson is the new batsman, comes out to take Gooch's place. Oh, now that is a fraction closer.
John Hampshire unmoved. Terry Alderman quite upset. And a bit of movement there, but very, very close indeed.
Oh, Peel there, and that's out. Tim Robinson has gone. Barry Mayo is the umpire, and that one cut back. Lovely bowling by Lawson, who first beat Gooch with a slower ball, but this was on Robinson before he'd really organised his defence at all.
I must say that Tim Robinson has never looked settled against Lawson. A lot of problems ever since he came in. And really nowhere near that ball there.
The only doubt must have been the height of it, but without doubt, Tim Robinson beaten. LBW bowled Lawson for naught, faced just 9 balls. So England winning the toss, batting first, looking for a strong start in this crucial test match. Have lost their second wicket for 23. And the incoming batsman is Robin Smith. So an unfortunate comeback by Tim Robinson, but good bowling by Geoffrey Lawson. It's the variation he's produced which has caught England here. A cheer. England get a single. And the scoreboard lumbers on from 23 to 24. 24 for 2.
I see no ships.
Very dogged defence by England. Very few runs coming, just 2 runs in the last 40 minutes. Oh, big shout. Big shout at slip. At least the arms shot up. Not a great reaction from Merv Hughes, and none at all from Tim Curtis or the umpire, John Hampshire.
Well, certainly it seemed to go out quite a long way. In fact, it did go out and keep going out, and at first glance I thought he got a touch on that. And Merv Hughes making the ball come back into the batsman, and then suddenly that one really went away from the right-handed batsman.
2 relevant rates of this innings, and at 21 runs per 100 balls, lifted that high by the recent flurry of runs, 7 or 8 coming in the last 10 minutes after we'd had 3 in the previous 70. There's the short one from Hughes. And there's a chance. And those are the errors that short pitch bowling can induce. The batsman rises to the challenge. It wasn't a controlled shot.
And this short delivery, Robin Smith smashing away at that. And Geoff Marsh in the gully getting his hands to it, but it was travelling pretty quickly.
There he goes again.
And anything short of a length that has width, Smith is going to have a go at. And he gives us the full treatment. He goes high over gully for 4 more runs.
4 more runs added to take the lunchtime score along to 48 for 2. Not out batsman, Curtis on 22, Robin Smith on 15. The men out, Gooch for 11, and Robinson no score. No extras in that total, 48 for 2. Well, during the luncheon interval, the players and officials had the privilege of being presented to His Royal Highness Prince Andrew. And then the players came out onto the ground again, and we joined play in the first over after the interval. Jeff Lawson is the bowler. Robin Smith is taking strike, and already Terry Alderman has changed ends to come up from the Warwick Road end. Almost as though Robin Smith was waiting for that.
Yes, all the time in the world to play that shot. It was an attempt to bounce, but Jeff Lawson didn't get it short enough, and it only got about waist high, and that really was meat and drink to Robin Smith. He smashed that away through mid-wicket.
That's a good shot. Dean Jones, the fielder. Oh, what a good delivery. 3 to Lawson today. Tim Curtis got one that just seemed as though it might have kept a fraction low, but it also beat him on the defensive stroke. And it's been a lovely exhibition of bowling from the tall paceman today.
Yes, I think Jeff Lawson's bowled better than any time in the series. Again, just squeezing that through between bat and pad, maybe just brushing the pad and going onto the off stem.
David Gower to take his first ball. And flicked away as though it's a practice match.
And Jeff Lawson's got a cinnamon off in for David Gower, which is an unusual field placing for David Gower. He doesn't really play bat and pad. And if he hits the ball on the offside ends with it square of the wicket. So that's rather unusual field placing, but they must see some reason for that.
There goes Smith again. That's meat and drink to him. That's his 4th 4.
Yes, you can't afford to give Robin Smith room. He's very powerful just outside there.
Alderman to Gower. There's umpire Mayer, and this is the problem that Terry Alderman's had all throughout this series. And this is the most serious talking to he's had. He does get close to the stumps, and that's the warning, the official warning from Barry Mayer, conveyed to Border and the square leg umpire.
And this really is something that has happened all the way through this series. See that right foot? It's almost on the leg stump.
He didn't time it all that well, and that's not David Gower's area, but it looks like 4. Big chase, and 4 it is.
And David Gower on the front foot, just wasn't a half volley. He hooded the bat a bit, hit it into the ground, but hit it hard enough for it to go through mid-off for 4.
Nicely by Smith.
Still very much an attacking field, and Robin Smith just pushing that between the gap of the slips and gully, picking up 3 runs.
That's 4 runs. one of the areas in which he's been vulnerable occasionally, but he does get runs from it.
And this is a nice, genuine leg glance. Rolls the wrists, keeps it down, and long leg is so square that as soon as he tucks it away, it's 4 runs. Nicely balanced there.
Lovely shot.
And this is a really beautiful stroke by David Gower. The back foot going across, right behind it. Watch that back foot go over. He stays with it when he hits it. Square of the wicket, 4 runs without any problem.
Steve Waugh.
Couple of loose deliveries, and they've both gone for 4. Robin Smith cracking that long hop from just outside the off-stump square. It's his favourite stroke.
Well, that's a lovely shot. It wasn't a good ball, and it really stood up there, right in the way of that brutal square cut, which Robin Smith loves to play.
Yes, you can't afford to give Robin Smith room. You can see that 2 feet outside off stump, short of a length, absolutely perfect for the square cut, and Robin Smith didn't disappoint us.
Both targets achieved with 50 for Robin Smith, and England had the home run. A loss of 3 wickets. Nicely turned through the wicket for 3.
It's been a fine innings by Robin Smith. Whenever he's got a chance to hit the ball, he's hit it very hard indeed. Defence being pretty sound, and an excellent innings there.
Such a fine art, isn't it? One test match he loses his leg stump, and the next one he's just flicking them round off the face of the bat. Very fine 4s.
Yes, the main thing about that is not going too far across. He's keeping his legs more or less on the line of the ball, and then just glancing it away.
Like 2, and in fact 1 was enough to bring up the 50 partnership between Robin Smith and David Gower. Take that, Mr. Hughes. Charity out there now, Robin Smith. Getting stuck into that short ball.
Yes, it was nicely played there by Robin Smith, getting inside the line. Got nice height, about chest high, so he could control the shot. Just occasionally, Robin Smith tries to hook when the ball gets above head high, but on that occasion, that was in just the right place.
Outfield is fast. Anything that escapes the field, the infield, has a very good chance of making it to the boundary.
And David Gower getting inside this one and keeping it down very well indeed. The roll of the wrist pushed it down into the ground. It just beat that finally. Good shot from David Gower, not getting too far over on the offside. And playing it down very comfortably indeed.
He's zoomed away to the boundary. Merv Hughes can't understand it, but David Gower has given him away with the hand as well.
A little bit of improvisation here from David Gower. A wide, good length ball, beautifully cut away, right on top of it, cutting it into the ground.
132 for 3. Well, pace has done nothing from the far end since Geoffrey Lawson took his wickets earlier, and it's to be Trevor Hohns.
Looked as though it might have been a mistake there by Ian Healy. Difficult to tell from here. It looked as though David Gower playing from nowhere, really. Looked as though it was pad.
Oh, good ball. The flipper has done him. Trevor Hohns has slipped the flipper through to David Gower, and that is brilliantly bowled.
Absolutely right. The man that's just told you about that knows all about flippers. And Trevor Hohns letting that one come out of the bottom of his hand, skidding on to David Gower. Gower misreading the length, and LBW trying to pull that one. A straight delivery, but a very, very good piece of bowling by Trevor Hohns. The flipper, which is something we don't see very often these days because we don't see many leg spinners. And David Gower, unfortunately, completely deceived.
Well, what a wicket for Trevor Hohns. And I can assure you that the leg spinner gets more joy out of getting a wicket through that type of deception than in any other way. David Gower, LBW to Hohns for 35. There are no extras in this innings so far, 132 for 4, and Botham has arrived at the crease. Hohns has done it. That is the wicket. And will Botham be able to forgive himself is the second question to answer. Hohns deceived him, brought him down the track and slipped it through his guard. Botham couldn't resist the attempt to hit it over the side screen, over the top of the stand at the Warwick Road end and onto the station.
Well, this is remarkable. At this stage of the contest, to try and hit the ball out the ground wasn't really a great piece of judgment by Ian Botham. Head up in the air, and the 5th English wicket goes down with the score on 140.
I assume the clapping of the hand to the forehead means, what have I done? But it was an extraordinary stroke. That's 4. Slightly overpitched in what will be the last over before tea.
Full toss, and Robin Smith now nicely settled, clipping that away wide of middle.
It's very well bowled. A quicker leg spinner from Hohns, just turned enough to go past the outside edge.
Very good delivery, and a definite little bit of turn there.
Lawson to Russell. He's given him, and Russell out. LBW to Lawson. He scored 1, And now England in real trouble at 147 for 6.
Well, I think the point made earlier that with a new wicket, the ball is always liable to keep low quicker than with a well-established wicket. And again, I think the ball keeping just a little on the low side. So he's hitting below the roll of the pad.
Chairman of the England committee, he was pretty forthright at the press conference yesterday about the options available to him should England not win this test match, and in fact if they lost it, then a pretty heavy hint that the policies might need a rethink for the rest of the series. That's out. Is it out or is it not out? Terrific bit of fielding, but in fact, as with his back lift, he hadn't gone very far.
Yes, two things to look for here. Did Geoff Lawson get a touch on the ball, and was John Emburey out of his ground? Well, certainly John Emburey is out of his ground, there is no doubt about that, so it all revolves around whether Geoff Lawson managed to just get a little touch on it as the ball went past. Certainly it looked like it.
Well, there we are. That's a positive move by Emburey. Long overdue, because he was just allowing Trevor Holmes to bowl to him, almost waiting for one of those backhand tickles and a catch close to the wickets. But that's a fine shot.
Here's John Emburey just moving inside this and hitting it with the spin through extra cover in the air.
Oh, that's out. It's simply exhausted the patience of John Emburey. He probably spotted a googly, but played it atrociously.
Straight delivery and a cross-batted slog. Would have hit the middle and leg. No question about that. And England bringing down their own downfall. There was no need to play a shot like that. It was, well, I think it might have been dropped from the junior Colts if you played that at school.
The 7th wicket goes down for 158. And Trevor Holmes has done a wonderful job for his captain out there. His 3rd wicket has come, and this is how it came. Emburey picked something he thought was a googly. Played across the line. So Trevor Holmes takes his 3rd wicket. The wickets shared between Lawson and Holmes. So what can Neil Foster do now? He was surely propped for Robin Smith. He's capable of doing that.
I was about to say exactly the same thing. The wickets keep falling. We have an established batsman in, playing well, 84 runs against his name, and people keep giving their wickets away.
That's a good shot. They're going for 3. Oh, it's tight. Umpire John Hampshire says no, but Robin Smith, I bet, was wishing that he'd run the first one a little quicker.
Absolutely right. Once again, the England players not running the first run quickly, and suddenly Robin Smith, who's halfway down the pitch, realises he's in a little bit of danger. But he just gets there. Good decision by John Hampshire in the perfect position there.
It's in the air, it's safe, it's over mid-off. Wouldn't be certain that Neil Foster played it exactly there to double the top.
Well, once again, the straight swing of the bat. I think he was beaten in the flight there, really. But just clearing Terry Alderman a deep mid-off.
That's a good hit. Straight down the ground for 6. Picked it up very cleanly. Two there for Robin Smith. Takes him on now to 98. That beats his previous best Test match score. It was in the Lord's game in this series. His score so far 66 and a duck, 32 and 96, and then 98 today. There's a beautiful stroke. Up once again off the back foot where he's been so strong all day. And 100 for Robin Smith. A standing ovation and applause from everyone on the field in the Australian side. That's 4. And up comes the 200. This is an excellent partnership. In fact, that partnership kept going right up to the close of play when England had made 224 for 7. Robin Smith 112 not out and Neil Foster 36. The partnership 66 runs in all and 22 added from that boundary up to the end of play on this first day. 224 for 7, and the bowling figures for Australia. Two outstanding bowlers today, Geoff Lawson and Trevor Hohns. They did a lot of work. Lawson 27 overs, 4 for 58, and Hohns 22 overs and 3 for 59. England, and we join play on this second day. It's the 6th over. Lawson is coming into bowl to Foster. 8 runs have been added so far in the morning. Oh, got it. Well, only just. Lawson has clapped both hands to his head, and Border is just thinking about the awful possibilities there, but Foster has gone. It was a beautiful piece of field placing and very well bowled with a slower ball from Lawson, but it was so close to getting away.
Yes, I was just thinking I couldn't really see the reason for a man there, but Alan Border's done it again. Absolutely just right he was. Both hands to it, the ball bounced up, and fortunately he's naturally left-handed and it came down on that side. Fine catch at the finish, but it'd have been disappointing if he'd have missed it in the first place. Fine effort from Neil Foster. He's done all that could have been expected of him.
New batsman is Angus Fraser.
The mark straight away. Geoff Lawson, his hands to his head. He must have been reasonably straight, but he got the middle of the bat on the ball and threw mid-wicket for a couple.
Lovely shot. First 4 of the day to Smith. One for England. And that's his 13th 4. And this was not quite a half volley, but Smith playing alongside that front leg and going through with a vertical bat. Very nicely played shot, just rolling the wrist at the end, and 4 from the moment it left his bat. That's a lovely shot. Hit through that. That wasn't quite a half volley.
Well, that's as good a shot as anyone can see. Slightly slower delivery, but look at that straight bat. Hitting it on the up. Beautiful shot.
That takes England to 250. Close and given. Well forward, Fraser had a long look, so did umpire Mayer. And Lawson takes number 6 with Fraser LBW for 2 and England 252 for 9.
Well, it's a fairly straight delivery. And Fraser quite well forward there. Not absolutely at full stretch, but obviously very disappointed with that decision.
So that leaves Smith now with just Nick Cook, who very determined player, but with perhaps not quite the same ability as one or two above him. And that's a great shot. It's on the up, but got hold of it. And that's his 15th boundary.
It's a wonderful shot, this, off the back foot, going forward, rocking back, and just swinging the bat straight through the line. Really timed that beautifully. I think England will be quite happy with 260 on the board, considering the things that have gone on.
Well, that might be out, in fact. It is. What a way to go. Caught, square cut, top edge. Caught by Holmes, and the end of a great innings, 143. And England all out for 260, and that's Merv Hughes' first wicket. And he went for the square cut. In fact, almost deliberately played the uppercut, but didn't really get enough bat on it. It was a well-judged effort by Holmes there. He's pleased. Smith's not. But tremendous innings. And really, he alone has kept England afloat.
And it was undoubtedly one of the very best innings played by an England batsman in recent years in this country or overseas. A wonderful knock of 143 from Robin Smith. Angus Fraser 2, and Nick Cook remained not out after Neil Foster had been dismissed for 39. The bowling figures for Australia, they did well. 260 is just about what they should have dismissed England for, I reckon. Alderman none for 49, but perhaps deserved a little better, although he didn't move the ball in the air yesterday. Lawson 6 for 72, used his head all the way through, a thinking bowler, and he did great things out there for Australia yesterday and today. And Merv Hughes picked up the wicket today, finished with 1 for 55. Holmes and Waugh weren't needed. Well, the opening batsmen for Australia were Geoff Marsh and Mark Taylor, and we join play now in the second over. 6 runs on the board so far. Fraser is the man coming into bowl to Taylor.
Well, a good shout. A lot of people shouted.
Early encouragement here for the bowlers. That certainly moved again off the seam, back into the left-hander. Very good delivery.
That's well bowled.
15 of those to Taylor, 4 to Marsh. Spin on from the Stretford end. 10 minutes before lunch. That's a nice start for Geoff Marsh. A little loosener for John Embury.
Lovely, juicy full toss. And Geoff Marsh not making any mistakes with that.
That's a good shot. A square drive off the off spinner and the well pitched up delivery That was a lovely stroke.
Wide half volley. And Marsh getting his foot right to the pitch of the ball there. The England captain taking evasive action.
A bit of spin there.
Well, that is interesting. And that was very close to the off stump as well.
There's a neat stroke by Taylor. He waited on it, made certain it was going to spin rather than go straight through as the top spinner.
Yes, and the way he played that shot, it shows that there's no great pace in the wicket. He had time to watch it after it had pitched, see that it wasn't going to come back into him, and then just nudge it past slip.
That's the way Embury had Knight Taylor stumped at Edgbaston. Bringing him down the pitch and spinning it past the outside edge. He's played that well.
Cheers, most people laugh, all except one man, and that's Gower.
And you can see how far the Australian batsmen get their front foot to the pitch of the ball. They really do get it. Look at that. Really reaching down the pitch and getting close to it, not killing any spin at all.
Neil Foster. Have to be sharp here if Gower hits.
And once again, very good running by the Australians. They go straight away. And although it's a direct hit, Taylor comfortably in.
Well, that's well bowled. That's the first time, really, that Taylor's been drawn into a loose stroke.
Yes, and very unusual to see him chasing one that wide. He's usually such a good judge of where the ball is. He's had his little flirt outside the off stump, and I don't think he'll do that again in a hurry.
Nick Cook coming on for his first bowl of the innings. Fraser finishing with 12 overs for 35. Good enough spell, but certainly nowhere near as impressive as at Edgbaston. That's 4 runs. A loose first delivery. Cook now to Taylor, giving him room. Didn't really time it, but it'll be worth a couple.
Taylor's 50. And a very good innings indeed.
Really is firing it in, Cook, and he's paying the penalty. Nice stop there by Foster. It's the end of the over. Australia 85 without loss.
That's a lovely shot by Taylor. Lovely straight back, full face of the bat. And the 100 comes up, the unbroken Australian partnership.
That's Mark Taylor showing that he can hit the ball off the front foot when it's pitched up. Nothing much better than that shot there to bring the 100 up.
And again, John Emburey not making quite such good ground this time. So 2 fours in succession for Mark Taylor. Lovely straight drives through mid-off. There's no mid-off fielding there. Pacing Foster. And that's a lovely shot. Square on the offside. Nick Cook. Oh, well. I don't think Foster will be too happy with that, nor should David Gower be.
Yes, a little bit slack here by Nick Cook. He got to it quite reasonably. Got a left boot on it. And oh dear. Never make a left winger.
Now Botham to bowl to Mark Taylor. Four runs. Eighth 4 for Taylor. A lovely shot, flicked off his hips, that's another 4. Might be 4 more. Just can't bowl at this pace at that length.
I mean, both of them looking at the footholds and everything else, but I don't really think there's too much wrong with the footholds. They're nice and dry.
That's out. What a tremendous bit of wicket keeping. An appeal for a caught behind, given down the leg side, and really that's the sort of break that England barely deserved, but what a high-class bit of work from Russell.
Yes, beautiful piece of wicket keeping. He's a fine keeper, Jack Russell, and beautifully taken there. And umpire Hampshire having no hesitation there, although Jeff Marsh, as he walked out, was shaking his head.
And there we are, Marsh caught by Russell off the bowling of Botham for 47. Australia 135 for 1. It's been a cracking partnership. The Old Trafford crowd giving generous applause to Marsh. He was certainly disappointed, but really it was a magnificent piece of work by Russell because there was no particular merit in the ball.
Beautifully taken because it also brushed the pad as it was going down, and he is a fine keeper.
And he's done him again, same as at Edgbaston. Embury has had Mark Taylor stumped for 85. Exactly the same type of dismissal as in the last test match, spinning the ball past the outside edge at the left-hander's back. Excellent innings, but that's good bowling.
Yes, he does go down the wicket when it's a little bit wide. It's definitely too wide to be risking going down to the off-spinner with that rough there. The old bowlers follow through. And you have to go down, and once the ball's wide, you've got to get right down to it if you're going to go.
And the new batsman is Alan Border. That field is still quite fast. Tim Robinson, the fielder, the slider. The shout would be because they weren't certain whether or not David Boone had played a shot or if he just kept the bat behind the pad.
Well, it's always a debatable one, is that. Certainly there's no chance of him playing the ball because the bat was straight behind the leg, but some batsmen do that these days and nobody gets given out for it, so they'll continue to do it.
Well, sometimes they make a mistake and pad up to the wrong line. And David Boone is the third man to go. Angus Fraser bowling in his proper style from the Stretford end has claimed the third wicket, and this is a good spell from the Middlesex medium pacer.
On this occasion he didn't get that leg far enough across, just bent the knee and it went just over the top of the roll there and clipped it off stump. You just see the ball as he bends his leg back there. That just allows the ball to go through. If he kept the leg going forward, may have been given out, he might not.
Dean Jones is the new batsman for Australia. 154 for 3. Dean Jones will face Angus Fraser. Fraser can't wait to get at him. Australia 106 behind.
Well, it's a good first delivery, and Fraser a little bit unlucky not to get a wicket here. Banged that in short, and it bounced. Jones got behind it a little bit square on, and the ball going off the gloves, but it went more or less straight down.
Jones, that'll be 4 runs. He does like to get down the wicket to John Embury, and they're really going past short leg. That's why that man there has got a helmet on.
Yes, I think what he's doing is getting down the wicket and eliminating the short legs, really. And although that was a chancy shot, there's no man out in the deep. And the other thing is, of course, that the ball's turning into him.
Ideas being exchanged. That's too short. Dean Jones doesn't need any second invitation for that sort of ball. It's another big hit, straying down leg side. Third boundary of the over. For the 4 and getting it. Moved inside the line well and just swung round there. Almost a free hit, providing he kept it fine enough.
Yes, it's more a paddle shot, really. Short back lift and just helping it round.
Spotting the single. Jones is quick, but he really had to be there because Fraser was also sharp into his action.
Oh, there certainly was a quick single here. Fraser following through, picks it up, throws, and if he'd hit, I think he would have been out. I'm sure he would have been out.
Too tight anyway for Dean Jones's peace of mind, and Border knows it.
Oh, that's well stopped. I know you're quite keen up your own bowling, but you did very well to get down so quickly and so far. He didn't look at it really. He took his eye off it, but he middled it, and it flies away behind square leg. A positive response from Jones.
Yes, just watch his head. And he doesn't really look. He's got the line, but he doesn't look at it as he hits it.
It's been a good day in that dressing room. Oh, that's a good shot. Full swing of the bat. Played wonderfully straight and right to the pitch of the ball.
He does hit the ball hard. Super shot.
Safe. No problem at all. There's a ring of 3 on the onside, all saving 1. And the man at deep backward square leg, but that was perfectly calculated shot.
Absolutely safe. There's no one out. And he can miss-hit it over those inner fielders.
Tim Curtis, the fielder. The pause for the 200 up. Australia have lost just 3 wickets. Marsh for 47, Taylor 85, and Boone for 12. That brought up the 50 partnership.
Cook now bowling over the wicket to Jones. And the field placing there is probably one of the more unusual ones seen in Test cricket. He's got the slip and the bat pad and only 2 men on the offside, so bowling to 4 on the offside, 5 men on the onside. That doesn't stop Jones going straight down the wicket and putting him over the top for 6. He really is a batsman who, whatever the state of the pitch or the game or the day, within 25 minutes of the close, and just look at this for a shot.
Yes, a lot of confidence, because it didn't look like he was quite going to get there at one time, but he did go through lovely on the line. Nice follow through, and kept his head down as well. And at the finish, it really was a magnificent shot.
It certainly was a magnificent shot, and 6 more runs were added up to the close of play, with Dean Jones finishing on 49 not out. Lovely innings. Border is 19, Taylor out for 85, Marsh 47, and Boone 12. 219 for 3. Nothing much about the bowling. Fraser came back all right after rather an odd early spell where he was trying to bowl much too fast. Finished up with 1 for 60, Foster none for 35. Wicket also to John Emburey, who was hit out of the attack for a while by Dean Jones with marvellous footwork and good strong strokes to the outfield. And Ian Botham 5 overs, 2 maidens, 1 for 15. I thought he might have bowled a little more. Nick Cook, I can offer no easy explanation, I'm afraid, as to why Nick Cook should have come out and bowled round about the pace of Derek Underwood there today. 13 overs, 4 maidens, none for 36, and he really... John Emburey is the bowler. Alan Border, the Australian captain, is taking straight.
Well, England had the worst possible start.
Yes, little paddle shot from Alan Border, off the stumps actually. Gets a bottom edge and just beats Fraser. He really should have stopped that.
that was a very strong shout from Jack Russell behind the stumps.
Yes, the second time in the over that Alan Border's gone to sweep, and you can see that pitch is about off stump. But unfortunately for England, it doesn't straighten up. It goes on with the arm. So Border gets away with that.
81 overs bowled. It's Dean Jones on 49, Alan Border 23. And that's it. That's a half-century for Dean Jones.
There's Jeff Lawson applauding there, but Dean Jones played particularly well yesterday evening. When he came in, he completely dominated this stand. They put on 70 now, which Jones has got 50.
Oh, that was a bad ball. Nick Cook pulling it down and Alan Border pulling it high and handsomely over mid-wicket. Who has just overtaken Gary Sobers in that last over, the world's leading batsman, and Alan Border goes to 8,034 runs.
And similarly to the off-spinner, the left-hander bowling without a short leg.
Border doesn't think so. Barry Mayer doesn't think so.
Border pushing forward there, that ball turning. And desperately difficult to tell here. Barry Mayer's very much closer.
John Hampshire giving the scorer the nod. And then the scorers wave back and say, yes, we see.
That's very close. Just jabbed the bat down, but was it pad first?
Certainly Neil Foster thought it was very close. I think it may have just been a little inside edge.
That's the favourite shot of Dean Jones. How many times have we seen that this series? That's his 7th boundary.
Yes, he's certainly a good-looking player, Dean Jones. Attractive to watch, plays all the shots, and certainly not much better than that. Right onto the toes there, and really cracking it, keeping it down, away square on the offside.
And that'll be the lead. Good looking off drive there from Border. Gow won't catch it. Almost symbolically, really. Border's 4 with Gow chasing in vain to give Australia the lead.
Yes, lovely stroke there. Absolutely full face of the bat. Just looked like walking down the wicket, the face of the bat, showing to the bowler. And 4 runs.
And now what the big crowd have wanted, and certainly what Ian Botham's wanted. And as Railingworth suggested, he's been brought sooner rather than later into the attack so that he can bowl with that second new ball while it's still got some shine left, if not all of its original shape, according to the gestures and complaints of the captain and the bowlers in the last 2 overs. Bowling from the Warwick Road end, the opposite end to where he got his wicket yesterday. And again, Russell standing up. Russell, really a magnificent exhibition of wicket-keeping. So little fuss and so quick.
For Alan Border. He's as determined as I've seen yesterday afternoon and out there today. He knows that a big innings here from him and from Dean Jones is of vital importance. Through. Jones for 69, 274 for 4 now. Botham coming in from the Warwick Road end, and Jones has gone. The partnership with his skipper is broken.
And what an important wicket for England. That just slanted in. Jones playing it towards mid-wicket, just getting a touch on the pad. And the ball deflected into his off stump. Could well have missed the leg stump, actually. But Jones getting that front foot just inside the line and being bowled off his front pad. Very good innings by him. He's a super player. A little bit disappointed at getting out just when he was set. But a great strike for England, and one they desperately needed.
Steve Waugh is the new batsman coming down through the crowd at the moment. That's what happened to Dean Jones. Yes, it would have missed leg stump. It just caught the outside of the off stump. Good knock from Dean Jones. Well bowled by Ian Botham. Jones yesterday with that onslaught on Embury turned things round for Australia at a time where it would have been not such a good thing if they'd lost another wicket. Lovely attacking piece of cricket. Little edge on to the pad. And Steve Waugh is off the mark. Cheers for Ian Botham around the ground.
Yes, well, England supporters haven't had a great deal to cheer about, but those figures of 9 overs, 2 for 20 look very good in that total of 275 for 4.
Oh, goodness me. He's just given that a little flick of the wrists. And it's fairly raced away through cover.
Oh, so nearly through. Fraser wonders how was that kept out.
Yes, just unfortunate, just about squeezing through, and if the luck was going for you, you'd probably got inside edge onto the boot and it would probably have gone back onto the wicket, but just missing the stumps.
Oh, is that a catch? Certainly didn't go off the middle. Good shot there. Goes all the way forward when he plays. Didn't really time it, but that brings up the 300. It's come up in the 113th over of the innings. It's nicely placed. The 4 runs.
Steve Waugh timing that, although it's a good length ball, he just pushes firmly through it and goes off the middle of the bat through mid-wicket for 4.
Oh, that's beautifully played. 4 runs. Angus Fraser just straying a little bit, not many inches down the leg side.
The genuine leg glances from Alan Border.
Oh dear. Neil Foster, I wouldn't be very happy to be the bowler.
Don't think the bowler is very happy, Tony. There was absolutely no reason why Foster shouldn't have stopped that.
Oh, that's lovely. When you bowl a long half volley to a high-class player, it's as automatic as putting a penny in a slot. And the 50 partnership comes up between Alan Border and Steve Waugh.
We're going to have a hold-up in play here for a few moments, I'm afraid. A special messenger, perhaps, with a tip for the 340 of Goodwood, as he certainly knows the keenest racing man in the lineup. And now it's Nick Cook, and he's going to bowl to the Australian captain, Alan Border. Out of the rough outside the off stump and just over Nick Cook's head.
Yes, unfortunately for Nick Cook, just over his head and just short of Angus Fraser there, just in between. That's the bit of luck that you do need as a bowler, just that bob into one of your hands.
Beautifully placed. Robin Smith will get it. Those took out 3 runs. That was delightfully executed stroke.
Neil Foster, just 28 matches for England. Good strike rate. The wicket's a touch expensive, but he's had a stop-and-start career, really, missing matches intermittently with injury. First to a back and then a knee. There's a lovely shot from Waugh, but it was a pretty loose delivery. That's Steve Waugh's 50. That's his 4th 4. And it looks as though he's on the glory trail again. 102 balls and 104 minutes. Foster strikes, Border goes, and again another high-class bit of wicket-keeping by Jack Russell. So the end of a marathon innings by Alan Border, But really, he's set his side now for a huge total, 362 for 5. You see this ball just slanting across. Didn't really get his feet going. The edge, and for once going to hand, and Jack Russell, well, he misses so little. He wasn't going to miss this. It's a good catch. 3 victims for Russell. Well, that's close, and that's out, and suddenly the game is not turning, but my word. Healy goes for a duck first ball, Foster's on a hat-trick. Healy goes LBW for naught, and now Australia 362 for 6. And a large crowd here of around 20,000 suddenly brought to life, as are the England players.
Well, they've been very patient waiting for this, and Healy, that ball hitting him just on the off stump.
Foster's got to do something pretty special to unseat Waugh. Here he goes. Good delivery, bang on the mark. It's a lovely shot. Steve Waugh, that'll be 3 runs, takes him on to 78. That brings up the Australian 400, and we see Waugh just letting the bat go through. Top hand leading, bottom hand coming in to punch. And there's Waugh. Lovely footwork. That was the feature of the shot. A great stop. It really was a terrific stop there by Robin Smith. And what a piece of fielding that was.
Well, you won't see anything better than this. It's a good shot. Thick outside edge, not off the middle of the bat. And look at Robin Smith going like steam. And this marvellous stop. Clipped it back, went through the rope, and up on his feet, and a good return.
Just like a Tom Graveney of old.
No, no, no. Never.
Well, there's an appeal, and it's out, and finally Cook has struck, and well, Gower's delighted. He just had a word with him. Cook's relieved. He's broken the spell. Hasn't bowled well. Holmes has played well. Good support there. Caught by Gower for 17. Now Australia 413 for 7.
Well, at long last, the bat pad in front has paid off. And David Gower picks up a catch. It's a better delivery. It was straight, turned a little bit, got the inside edge, cannoned off the pad into Gower's chest, and he did very well to hang on to this. That went off pretty quickly. And he's there, and he's very happy.
Lovely shot. Just a flick, really, and racing away there. That's his 7th 4.
That ball just drifting in to Waugh. Good length ball. Hit on top of the bounce, but beautifully timed again.
Well bowled. 2 wickets for Nick Cook. The fuse has gone, and Steve Waugh is still 8 away from his 100. that would be marked down as the brightest piece of batting.
Yes, Murphy was really fancying the leg side shots, and that was really far too straight. It did just straighten a little bit, kept a bit low as well, but not really a good shot.
Oh, what a catch. Tim Curtis has pulled off an absolute blinder at square leg. Waugh is out for 92. And the bouncer, Fraser tried to get it above Waugh's head so it would go through to the keeper, and he couldn't get the single to retain the strike.
Yeah, good thinking by Fraser, and you could see there Steve Waugh hooked a little bit by surprise. It was a fine catch. Curtis is certainly 6 feet tall and only just managed to get to it, but Steve Waugh very annoyed with himself there, but that was good thinking on the bowler's part. He knew he was going to try and be looking to push a one. It caused him to play the hook shot when he wasn't really ready for it, and that brought about his downfall. Steve Waugh hasn't knocked really in this series. He's just let them go, but good thinking by the bowler there.
A lovely innings from Steve Waugh, out for 92. Caught Curtis bowled Fraser, and 18 more runs added to take the total at the close of play up to 441 for 9. Lawson is 13, Alderman 5. The Australians still going into the 4th day with their first innings. The bowling figures for England, it was tough going out there. Everyone had a lot of work to do. John Emburey bowled most of all, 1 for 118 from 45 overs and 9 maidens. And that coming after everyone was saying that the Australians might just have a weakness against spin. 2 wickets for Foster, 2 for Fraser, 2 for Cook, and 2 for Ian Botham for only 63 runs. That is the match situation. Wicket to Angus Fraser after 6 runs had been added. That took the Australians to a lead of 187, and a very good performance from them to total 447. Lawson the man out, bowled by Fraser for 17, Alderman 6 not out, 19 extras, 447, and the bowling figures for England, well, there's nothing to write home about there, I'm afraid. It was all hard yakka out there. Foster 2 for 74, Fraser 3 for 95, Emburey 1 for 118, and Cook 2 for 85, both disappointing in my book on a pitch where the ball was turning. Botham 2 for 63, and when England went out to bat in their second innings, the Australians were 187 runs ahead. Well, I still reckon, as I have done right through this game, that there's something there for the bowlers in this match. We're going to join Geoff Lawson now as he bowls to Graham Gooch. It's the first ball of the England second innings. If you bend your back a bit, there's going to be plenty there for the bowling side.
Well, there's 4. It wasn't off the middle, but Graham Gooch won't mind.
Well, there are some times when you go out to bat and you can hang around for 20 minutes and you just can't see where a run's coming from. There you are, Gooch just playing defensively, the ball running off of the very thick edge, down on the floor. There was no chance of a catch. Slightly open face. I don't really think he was going to play it through there, but it certainly went safe, and 4 runs. Nice to get off the mark like that.
Maybe 4 more. Gooch so often in county cricket goes off like a steam engine, and he's away again now, 2 4s.
Yes, there's no doubt about this one. Short, outside off stump, plenty of room, and Gooch giving that a real crack square on the offside.
Well, that must be close. Oh, Barry Mayer. In fact, Jack Hampshire it is, has the habit of just changing his coins at the crucial moment when a batsman's looking down.
And that was a very, very good shout. Possibly umpire John Hampshire thinking that that didn't quite come enough from leg to off. It's certainly pitched straight, and Curtis must have had his heart in his mouth just for that split second there.
Oh, and that's out. Well, there we go. Tim Curtis playing in front of his pad. This ball nipping back, getting the edge, may have gone onto the pad, but another smart catch there at short leg by Boone, and Curtis goes. He's caught for a duck, and England 10 for 1.
I certainly think that one probably went off the pad as well, because it went very gentle. Right on line and length, and I think, yes, just onto the knee of the pad, it just held it up. Probably if he could just have bent that knee a little more, he might have just knocked it down with his knee, but the knee was slightly leaning backwards, which allowed the ball to go up to short leg.
We forfeit that.
Nice, genuine leg glance. And that rarely slanted down on the leg side by Terry Alderman. And long leg is so square that any genuine leg glance will go for 4.
There's about a 3/4 appeal only from Geoff Lawson. Everyone down behind the wicket reckoned there was a sound.
Certainly a good delivery, leaving Robinson off the pitch. Very good delivery indeed.
Oh, yes, that's absolutely plumb. It was well bowled too by Lawson. It was a quicker ball. He's been bowling about 3/4 pace, and he really let that one rip. Beat Robinson clearly on the backstroke.
Yeah, fine piece of bowling this. Lawson really hurrying that one through. And hitting Robinson just about the knee roll. And he's right in front.
Robin Smith coming in at number 4. And down he goes again. Smith has gone. He didn't even bother to look at the umpire. Heard the roar and saw the jubilation. He played a long way away from his pad there, trying to turn the ball down the leg side. Alderman has another one. Just a look again at the ball going off, more or less off the face of the bat. It was almost an authentic leg glance. I reckon Ian Healy got across quite a distance there. Looked as though he showed good anticipation. There he goes now. And he was taking the ball inside the line of his body, which was very, very good wicket keeping. David Gower in the centre.
And that's not a bad shout, because David Gower had his pad. His pad was right in front and his bat behind it. He didn't really play a shot at that. So it was a very fair appeal. England in desperate trouble. 28 for 3.
It's caught him, beautifully caught. Pushing forward outside off stump, and the ball was really dying on the first slip and beautifully flipped up.
And a good delivery. Gooch getting that bat a long way forward and picked up by Terry Alderman. And beautifully picked up low down.
Well, when England fail, they do it better than anybody else. 2 wickets to Alderman, 2 to Geoff Lawson, and this is Ian Botham on a pair. Well, both of them got a little nick on that. It looked like a leg by. It'll be a great relief to him because that means he will not be getting a pair in this match. And that's very close again to the faint little nick. And you see the leg slip is standing there. They all know it.
Nothing anywhere near except the bat. Very, very dangerous shot indeed.
Four runs and Gower's off the mark. Oops, he was there. It was a no ball, actually. But it was the shot that Gower was certain to play.
Absolutely right, Tony. Irrespective of the call, David Gower was playing that shot. And David Boone got a touch on it, but it went for a single.
Ideally, they want to be looking for singles, picking up ones and twos if possible. Got really turned round on that, and if there was enough swing.
Yes, the interesting thing was that Healy hadn't moved at all. And that was a fairly straight delivery.
Part of the skill of Terry Alderman, he's been running the ball away virtually every ball, and then suddenly that just drifts in. And that's out. This time he's gone. A fine exhibition of swing bowling and movement off the seam, good accuracy, lovely length, and suddenly Ian Botham is in all sorts of trouble, and he's out.
And a big shout, the previous delivery. And this one just pitching off stump and absolutely dead straight. Hitting Ian Botham just below the knee roll and right in front of middle stump.
So we're down to Jack Russell.
Well, Raymond, I've been saying all through the match there's a bit there for the bowlers. That's a nice stroke from David Gower. Now, that is very good fielding, very keen running and chasing.
It's not often you see David Gower hit the ball as straight as that. That was dead straight towards mid-off. Usually if the front foot David Gower hits it much wider than that, through cover or square. That one very, very straight. Showing the keenness of the Australians in the field there.
Tim May's family has arrived.
I think that would just have summed England's cricket up if we'd have had a run out last over before lunch with nothing really to play for, and it was certainly tight. Oh, that would have been very, very tight with a direct hit.
I think Jack Russell was into his first forkful of salad and plate of ham, the non-striker's end. Jack Bannister tells me that Mr. Russell is a vegetarian, so delete the ham from what I just said. Not only that, but he's good off the back foot. .50 is on the board for England. considerable cost.
Out. Good catch. Fine catch. And David Gower. Well, the day spoiled by what's gone on before lunch, now completely ruined, and there he goes, England's captain, caught in the gully off the bowling of Lawson. He scored 15, and England now 59 for 6.
Yes, I think that just about sums up David Gower's series. Been caught quite a lot in the gully third slip area, particularly against the West Indian bowlers. That one hit pretty hard, and it was a useful catch. It was going very, very quick. Marsh, the catcher, he's had 2 or 3 attempts at catches in this series and dropped them, but on that occasion he hung on to a pretty sharp chance from David Gower. So David Gower caught Marsh, bowled Lawson for 15, and I really think that does sum up his series so far. You see, short of a length, wide. Gower hit quite hard, but semi-outside edge, going quickly, and a fine catch by Marsh.
New batsman is John Emburey. Emburey off the mark. Relieved roar from the crowd. They've had precious little to cheer about today. There's plenty of gaps there with all the close fielders that yet again Board has been able to keep.
Emburey, no backlift at all there, just slightly angling the bat face. The ball running off the middle of the bat on the floor, and 4 runs. And again, as Jack Marsh just said, Alan Border able to maintain close catches throughout the innings. He can give a few runs away, and it doesn't really matter.
Well, there's a rare flourish.
Another one gets through. Well, it's the only point of elation that this quite good crowd can rise to. It's been nothing to cheer at all. It's been the same, I suppose, around every ground where the tests have been played. And now we've got to the stage where a snick through the slips for 4 brings a great cheer. That's a healthy light meter at the moment. That's a better shot. That was played superbly. John Emburey using his height and getting on top of the ball downwards through third man.
Yes, bit of width, and John Emburey right on top of that, staying with the shot. Doesn't pull away, stands up straight and clips it away through the gully.
Jack Russell's certainly trying to put the bat to ball if he gets a chance. There's a wideish half volley, and give it the full treatment on the floor. It didn't go in the air, and no danger at all there.
Well, it's a useful delivery from Hughes, and again he's showing the fire and hostility that really have also made a big impact on the series from him. What a good support seamer to have. Oh, that's one of Russell's strengths. That's 4 runs. He does latch onto those well. He gets in line nicely, and really he's just gone from strength to strength in this series. That was nicely played. Then the attempted Yorker. It's good bowling. 4 runs and the 100 up. That's his 4th 4. Precious little for the crowd to cheer about.
That was a nice shot, because John Emburey stayed perfectly balanced. He didn't fall over to the offside like a few of the England players have been doing. Stood still, let the ball come onto him, and then just turn the wrists. There you are. Beautifully timed.
He's not a test cricketer yet, nor even a budding test cricketer. It's as though they've produced a creche over there. Good idea, too. That was meant to be the flipper, and it was a loose one.
And that brings up the 50 partnership of these two late order batsmen.
There's a few black clouds away around this ground now. The light has marginally improved. Still not great, but it's still good enough for 4 runs to come from that blow from Jack Russell. 6th boundary for Russell.
Jack Russell's played very sensibly and just dispatches that full toss straight down the ground.
.47 to Jack Russell now, 23 to Emburey. That's got to be very close.
And a lot of turn here from Alan Border, but it's so much that it's very difficult to judge. That hit Russell about 6 inches outside the off stump. Square turn.
And that is tea on the 4th day of this Cornhill Test match at Old Trafford. Jack Russell has played very well for 47, John Emburey for 23. 64 runs, that partnership, and what value it was to England, who were in terrible straits earlier in the innings. 123 for 6, it finished, and that really is a desperate time for David Gower and his men. They're still quite a distance away from making Australia bat again. The bowling figures for Australia dominated by the 2 men, Terry Alderman and Geoff Lawson. Lawson 17 overs, 4 maidens, 3 for 46, and Alderman 13 overs, 1 maiden, 3 for 38. Hearns bowled 12 accurate overs for 11. Hughes came on, bowled 5 overs, and Border bowled 3 overs when he wanted to make certain the players stayed on, that the batsmen couldn't go off for bad light. The situation of the match, England still 64 runs behind Australia, 260 and 123 for 6 against Australia's 447. The rain came during the tea interval. The 2 men really standing between England and defeat, and the regaining of the Ashes by Australia for the first time in 55 years. Well, it has been done before. The classic case was Watson and Bailey at Lord's in 1953. I was a bowler on that occasion, so I don't remember it with any great pleasure. We're going to join play now with Geoffrey Lawson already having conceded a no ball in the first over of the day. Here's the first ball of the second over. John Emburey is taking strike. and Terry Alderman is the bowler. First runs off the bat. Embury's going to look for 2. Lawson's the fielder. Just the single.
Fine shot by Jack Russell off the back foot. That brings up his 50.
Good innings from Jack Russell. So far in this series, his batting has produced 15 and 2 at Headingley, where he's very much under pressure from the Australian bowlers, particularly with the short pitch ball. Then he made 64 not out and 29, came back with magnificent fighting batting in that match. Then 42 at Edgbaston, 1 in the first innings here. Now he has an even 50, 119 balls, 139 minutes and 6 boundaries. Just a question of whether lunch is necessary today. The way they're going at the moment, it will be.
What a lovely shot that by Jack Russell. Almost a repeat of the one he played in the previous over off Terry Alderman. But beautifully timed, just a little push. He takes that little edge forward and then just clips it away off the leg stump. That ball pitching outside the leg stump, so there was no danger of him being LBW had he missed it.
Have to move down a fine leg to stop that. It was a good try.
Dean Jones down there making a supreme effort. Just flipped away by Russell. A tremendous effort by Jones. It looked at one time as though he'd actually got it. You don't want to damage your knee when you're diving like that, though.
That's pad first, but it will depend on the position of Russell's pad. Looked as though it might just have been outside off stump. Well, by a millimetre.
Yes, and Jack Russell and John Embury doing a splendid job here for England. Certainly giving it true value of the wicket. I've been out and looked at it this morning. It's a very firm surface. There's no dust on the top, and it really is amazing how England got to 50 odd for 6.
And that'll add to any worries the Australians might have. A typical piece of Embury unorthodoxy.
Well, if that had been a putt, it'd have been exactly the right length. But tremendous shot there by John Embury. Doesn't have a very big back lift. It's off the back foot on the up. It was certainly not a short delivery. And the ball going through mid-off here.
The first battle of the day won by Russell and Embury. Alderman's off and War's on. The couple. Boone chasing. His batting's like his keeping, Ray, isn't it? I mean, it's neat, it's well organised, and he's got a pretty sound technique.
Yes, I think both these two, Embury and Russell, don't pick the bat up too high. They keep it reasonably straight and just are prepared to let the ball come on, then turn the wrist, just nudge it away. The outfield's pretty quick. You can get 2 and 3 runs for a nice little nudge, and that seems to be the way to play on the pitch. It's been pretty successful for these two.
No ball called, and it was short enough, and Graham-Inglis made the point, this pitch is so slow that when a batsman of any sort of ability gets in, anything now short of a length is just sitting up and begging.
Yes, I mean, Mawson's round the wicket here, so the ball's angled away from Embury. You can see he's still outside the off stump, and he could just really play it with complete ease round in front of square leg there, and that really does show how slow this wicket is.
Ian Botham ringing somewhere, but wherever it is, one assumes it isn't South Africa. He wasn't among those named.
That's a good shot. And that's the 100 partnership between Embury and Russell, and very well they played too. They just proved that batting is so possible.
Terrific performance. 100 partnership. England at 59 for 6, in desperate trouble. 160 for 6 now.
Another gap. Plays that shot well. I'll ask Tom Graham to comment on that. It's the ball on Midland leg. He plants square on the leg side and gets 3 runs like that.
Lovely little paddle shot. He goes forward with the front foot and then just rocks back and paddles it away in front of square. He's got a lot of runs with that stroke in this innings. Disproving all the theories after Headingley that he couldn't bat. He certainly went through a rough period, but he's worked hard, battled through it, and now has been one of the most successful batsmen in the England side.
Runs for Embury. Merv Hughes. Well run indeed. 3 runs to John Embury.
And a change in the attack because Alan Border is now coming on. Left arm over the wicket to bowl his spinners.
It's an interesting exercise for Australia, isn't it, Tom? I mean, the temptation is to press because here they are, the Ashes are beckoning and they simply have to roll over 4 more wickets. But cricket's not like that. You just have to exercise patience, and Alan Border will know that better than anybody. He's been patient enough to wait for seasons to come to this moment. He's not going to throw it away now by being over anxious. He just wants to calm the side down, bowl steadily, tidily, and wait. Ooh, that was off the stumps. Easy 2. Three runs for John Embury. And these two have beaten a long-standing record, and that is the 7th wicket record for England versus Australia at Old Trafford. Previous one, 113, T.W. Hayward and A.F.A. Lilly in 1899.
That's a good one to break.
That's his 50. Really, it has been a smashing innings and well appreciated there, sportingly so by Alan Border. Embury's done this before. In fact, now this is his 8th 50 for England. He's averaging over 20. Gowran Gooch.
The way things are going, Jack, this could add to Mickey Stewart's 1.5 days. He might get another half day out of this one.
And That is the lead, and what a psychological trick that is. Tremendous partnership.
Well, there's always a little bit of risk of hitting the leg spinner over his head like that. You've got to get right to the pitch. John Embry did that, and it was a safe shot, but just needs to spin a little bit more, and the ball could just sky up to the covers.
A typical John Embry innings of huge value to England, just helping England recover some pride, and no doubt annoying the frontline batsmen, who must be saying, if Embry and Russell can do it, why didn't we? This is Lawson. Well, a little nick there didn't carry, and so at the very first ball from Geoff Lawson, just frustrating Australia. Little nick of the bat there, yes, and drops short of Ian Healy.
Presumably the new ball will be taken straight away as soon as Terry Alderman perhaps has one or two with the old one, but is he going straight away with it? And it is. Jack Hampshire indicating to the scorers that Alderman will commence the over with it. Just waited for it, and that brings the 200 up, and he really is showing great selection of stroke play.
And this is a shot he plays particularly well. You see that front foot going down to start with, and he just rocks back, flips it away, right off the middle of the bat, and up comes the 200.
Oh, it's bowled in, and Embry on the back foot, the ball nipping back, may have flicked the pad, off stump. And the end of a wonderful piece of resistance from John Embry, bowled by Terry Alderman for 64. The end of the partnership, England 201 for 7. But what a hand John Embry will get here, because really he's put to shame the efforts of the batsman above him.
And here that ball just nipping back off the seam. John Embry playing along the crease. But the end of a marvellous innings by him. And bogeyman Alderman strikes again. And nice to see the Australians gathered around there applauding that marvellous effort of Embry's. 201 for 7 now. 14 in front, and Neil Foster, who played so well in the first innings, arrives at the crease.
Four more. And Russell, no need to alter his approach, but the ball was there, it was well up.
Yes, the good thing about Jack Russell out there is he hits the ball down. He keeps on top of it, and it goes down in that gap between the 3 slips and the gully.
Slower ball. Russell picking it well, because he didn't go looking for it, he let it come on.
Brilliant stroke. Typical of the shots Russell has played on this last day.
Yes, a little bit of width on it, and his foot not right to the pitch, but he hit it pretty well. Kept the head down. Head was still at the moment of contact. And that's a lovely finish.
That must have been not very adjacent, the one that won the Stewards' Cup the other day, but slightly adjacent.
Well, it was bowled from wideish of the crease, but it didn't continue on a straight line down the leg side. It did hold up a little, but I don't think it quite held up enough. But certainly well worth a shout.
Runs there, 3 of them at least. David Boon is the chaser. they did that sort of thing, knitting at the Bastille. That's well played, and that's the highest score for Russell in Test match cricket, beating his 94 against Sri Lanka at Lord's last year.
Foster there knocking that ball down to the floor. That could easily have caught the instep for the boot and just gone to the wickets, but a little bit of fortune for him there.
Oh, Walderman has done it again. That was a good ball. We're on a slight angle here. We need to see the replay, but it looked as though it was a great delivery.
Yes, he got the ball that's moving back into the right-hander just right then. On 2 or 3 occasions he's pitched about middle-ish, and it Foster on the pad. At that time it's setting off stump, maybe just outside, and just coming back just the right amount, just to squeeze between bat and pad.
9 times now, Alderman, 5 wickets in a Test match innings, and all but one of those against England. The one away from that area was West Indies, 6 for 128 in Perth in 1984-85. Absolutely unmoved by John Hampshire. 223 for 8.
And again, you see that was just a little bit too straight and continuing on down that leg side.
They get 3 there. .99 to Russell.
Just waiting for the start of the football season.
99. Never scored a first-class 100 in his life. And that is it.
Well played, Jack Russell. What a grand fighting innings. Tremendous stuff. Not only dogged, but he's picked up his runs, he's picked up the bad balls. What a great moment for him. Come here, he's in. Come on, now you get your head down, Fraser. I'm not wasting my time for nothing.
I think you read that very well, Tony. Absolutely right.
Little nudge. That'll be 4.
Yes, a little edge round the corner, but played as a leg glance. He was running it round there, and long leg is so square that any leg glance like that will go for 4.
Nineteenth over with the second new ball. Now is to be bowled by Trevor Holmes. Introduction of leg spin. Jack Russell, 112 not out. Just picked the space and whacked it. And the 250 comes up.
Oh, and that little short arm jab again. It's a Russell trademark shot now. He just waits for the ball to come and flicks it away. And he's given him. He'd had him probing and propping forward, A very dejected Angus Fraser. He's out for 3 and 255 for 9.
Well, it certainly looked like LBW. I certainly couldn't see any contact made with the bat. Pitched round about leg and middleish, and just held from the leg side.
Now, Russell meeting new batsman Cook. And the instruction must be get forward, survive until tea. Well, that's 4. Nonchalant bit of gardening from Nick Cook. Meets Russell. How about that then?
Well, that's the one place where you can't help but to play a shot, half volley on your leg stump. You just let the ball hit the bat, turn the wrists, and away it goes for 4.
Now, is this the short one? Oh, and he's out. Half leave-alone shots. Hughes does the trick. Cook caught at the wicket off the bowling of Hughes, and Russell left unbeaten with a marvellous 128. England 264 all out. And there we see this, a half leave-alone shot, really. It was a tentative dab, just getting through the Healy, and he made no mistake. And now everybody, including the Australians, applauding, congratulating Jack Russell, shaking him by the hand. And that is one of the marvellous innings in Test history.
It was a magnificent performance from Jack Russell, 128 not out in that total of 264. Angus Fraser was court-marched, not LBW, bowled Holmes, the ball having hit his pad, then flown off the edge to the fielder close in on the offside. He made 3. Embury, the good partnership with Russell, and the other 2, Foster and Cook, couldn't hang on. 264, and the bowling figures for Australia dominated once again by Lawson and Alderman. Lawson had a great match, 9 wickets in the game. Alderman again, 5 wickets in a test innings against England, 5 for 66 from 27 overs and 7 maidens. Holmes 1 for 37 to go with his 3 wickets in the first innings, and a wicket also for Merv Hughes. And the state of the game at that point, England 77 ahead. It meant Australia needed 78 to win. They had many, many overs in which to make them. We join play now after they've got 33 of those 78 runs, no wickets down. Angus Fraser is the bowler, and Geoffrey Marsh is taking straight. Played that pretty well. It went fine, but it wasn't a bad stroke from Geoff Marsh.
Out. And so Embury's got a wicket. Marsh again going 31. Caught by Tim Robinson, so there's one for the scorebook. Marsh caught by Robinson off the bowling of Embury for 31. Australia 62 for 1.
Well, Marsh not happy with that shot, and he didn't really control it. The right hand didn't control the shot, rolling the wrist to keep the ball down. He just tended to hit it and not think about the consequences, and paid the penalty.
That's a bad ball. Every now and again one gets pulled down, and it's really a free hit. There we are, crowded Australian balcony, all ready for the historical moment. 5 more runs. And yes, why not, lads? Well, that'll be one of them. Looking for the 2 Taylor, but he doesn't get it. So at this moment, Boone must fancy his chances of being able to say, I brought the Ashes back. Cook to bowl, Boone to face. There he goes. Game and the Ashes. Boone scores the winning runs. Australia win by 9 wickets. 3-0 lead in the series. David Gower, well, for every winner there's a loser, and even he can't really complain about how comprehensively Australia have won this series. 2 matches to go. Complete reorganisation of England needed. The Australians beside themselves with delight. Bobby Simpson deservedly getting the congratulations there. Stumps, bails, any sort of souvenir for a moment in history, which is the first time it's happened in England since 1934, and only the 3rd time in all.
No problems there for the Australians. 81 for 1 at the close, with those winning runs being struck by David Boone. Marsh out for 31. Cord Robinson bowled Embury. It'll be a while before you see that dismissal again in English Test cricket. 37 for Taylor and 10 for Boone. And the bowling figures for England: Foster none for 5, Fraser none for 28, Embury 1 for 30, and Nick Cook no wicket for 18. The story of the match: England against Australia, this 4th Cornhill Test at Old Trafford. England 260 and 264, Australia 447 and 80.